Welcome back, podcast community. My name is Cam. This is Three Questions Podcast, episode number 97. It's 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning. And I love doing these podcasts simply because they're short, hard-hitting episodes, easy for me to do. They're about 10 to 15 minutes each. If this is your first time listening to TQP, I will answer a question specifically about business or personal tactics relating to my consulting company, CK Collective, and normally it's about business or personal tactics. So, like being an entrepreneur, which we're going to talk about today, or we talk about breakups, we talk about tactics, how to let go, how to just move on with your life, and what that really means. I like talking about breakups, especially with my content, because I experienced a lot of platitudes. There was really no guide out there for me as I was navigating my heartbreak when I was younger. And still, I think it's when we focus on relationships, when we focus on the quality of relationships with others, but firstly and mostly with ourselves, which is why I like working with entrepreneurs and teaching people how to be entrepreneurs, as well as being one myself. I like talking about those things. I find them very, very fascinating. I find them very helpful for me, and it keeps me accountable. So, really, this podcast is my way of keeping myself accountable, also sharing a little bit of information with people out there who are going through the grind. I don't like 2 to 3 hour long podcasts. I like short, hard hitting episodes. Get what you need, leave the rest behind. Okay, something you can do and listen to on your drive. So, format is one question, 5 minutes, and then the other two questions, both 5 minutes as well. Should be about 15 minutes for each episode. And if you're new to CK Collective, one of my new clients, you're just hopping in, or this episode appeals to you, I am launching School, Skool. It's Alex Hormozzi's brand, and I'm putting a lot of my courses on there. So these are self-guided, self-paced courses that you can learn AI mastery, how to build a website. I have emotional control, meditation, breath work, how to manifest. A lot of different things are coming out there. And I think I'm going to make that community free. And then the upgrade will be you buying the courses specifically. So that will be pretty cool for you if you want to know and learn a little bit more. I want to make this more of a community-based approach. So let's hop into question number one. Today, we're talking about business. So, what problem am I solving that people already pay to make go away? And why would they choose me over every other option? Yeah, I mean, I really like this question because we all subscribe to a bunch of stuff, whether it's Netflix or a lot of different subscriptions. Butcher Box is another good one. What is it, Fresh Pet or the Farmer's Dog? I get a lot of subscriptions sent to my house because it makes it easy. Things on demand, even my supplements, they're on demand. I get them every single month and I can change it. I can add new stuff. It doesn't matter. It's really easy. It's really awesome for me to do that. But most of the time, when you make money and you want to start a business, you should be solving a problem. And nine times out of 10, if you think you have that problem, other people do too. And if other people have that problem, I guarantee somebody else has created a business related to that. This is where imposter syndrome kicks in for a lot of my clients, a lot of people out there. They say, oh, well, I have this great idea. Oh, well, someone's already doing it. You stop yourself before you even come up with that idea. I give out free business ideas on a lot of my content. And one of the posts I made on Instagram probably in the last month or two was this whole Etsy idea and how to make AI digital art and blah blah blah. And so many people negatively commented on that post and they were like, "Oh, this is a bad idea. You're going to get sued for copyright. Someone's already doing it. Someone's doing it better than you." And in my mind, I didn't respond to those people, but I was like, "Look at all these people already talking themselves out of doing something." Okay? I'm going to tell you right here on this podcast, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So if you are trying to figure out why you should do it, the why is unique within you. People come to CK Collective because it's unique within me, how I'm not necessarily inventing new information all the time, but I'm packaging it up in my own way, and that's what people are buying, right? They're buying my why. Why do I do this? Because I want to be accountable, because I want to continue to grow, because I want to have successful relationships in my life, and I want to have successful businesses. If you don't want those two things, this community isn't for you, right? But you need to find a way to solve a problem, right? The better that you can solve that problem, the more money that you're going to make. So if you're thinking about a business, you're going to start a product or a service-based business, obviously, but think about how you're solving a problem. What is that problem? And then how are people paying you to make that problem go away? Whether it's trash pickup or cleaning an Airbnb, it can be the most simple of business, right? What are two things that we all do? Definitely, right off my head, washing our clothes and sleeping. So, like, how can people pay you to solve their problems relating to those two things? Okay. And why would they choose you over every other option? Again, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. There's an amazing video from Simon Sinek, who's a motivational speaker and business person. And it's called The Golden Circle, where he talks about both TiVo and Apple and their comparative journeys of selling to the consumer market. I would highly recommend that you pause this podcast, go to YouTube, type in The Golden Circle, Simon Sinek, Sinek is how you spell his last name, and save that video for later. It's about 20 minutes, I think. It's a TED Talk that he gave back in the early 2000s, and it is fundamentally mind-blowing. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So find a problem, solve that problem the way that you would want that problem to be solved, whether it's for you or whether it's for another person, and then stay consistent with your process. Entrepreneurship is a journey, and if you don't like the process of being on that journey, the ups and downs, the places you'll go, the people you meet, and you're just worried about making money and the end result, then you won't have the wherewithal to follow through. Okay. So that's kind of my answer to that. And what problem am I solving that people already pay to make go away? And why would they choose you over every other option? They choose you because you're consistent. Okay. That's it. Question number two. What am I avoiding because it's uncomfortable, boring, or exposes my lack of skill? And is that exactly the thing that will grow this business? Damn. I took that question personally. I hit ChatGPT up. I said, give me three really profound questions about entrepreneurship and the journey. So, what am I avoiding because it's uncomfortable, boring, or exposes my lack of skill? I will tell you, I made up things to do at my house this morning for about 45, no, a full hour. I woke up at 5:30 on a Saturday morning and I was like, maybe I'll go to the gym. I was like, nah. And then I was like, maybe I'll meditate. And then I meditated for like 5 minutes. Then I broke and I picked up my phone. Then I meditated for about another 12 minutes. Then I broke and picked up my phone. Then I made myself sit there for about another 5 minutes before I finally got up. And I like meditating first thing in the morning. I meditate in silence because I want essentially all the snow in the snow globe to just settle down. I want to feel a little bit better before I just start jumping into something. And during my meditation, I was like, okay, I can get some work done for Wi-Fi. I can get some work done for SFL. Maybe I can do some outreach today. Maybe I can just get all of that stuff out and done before the sun comes up. Sun's not coming up until about 7:30 today. I was like, I'm gonna get so much done. Then I'm gonna take the dogs out. Then if calls for 3 hours, I can do some yard work, blah, blah, blah. And I just started cleaning random little shit up in my kitchen and making coffee and just kind of putting around and scrolling on Instagram because me sitting down doing work is challenging. It's really tough. I don't necessarily enjoy it. Those businesses are doing well, but I haven't been consistent with them. And I'm a little bit ashamed to sit down because I haven't done any sales, any outreach, any product development, no blog posts, no podcast, no new products, right? And I have so much to do there that I'm almost ashamed of all the things that I've done. It's like this little redheaded stepchild that I've ignored, unfortunately, for a little while. And I love those two companies. So, in my own sense, it's uncomfortable to look at the progress that I could have been. I'm comparing myself to where I could have been if I stayed consistent for the past 2 or 3 months, when really I got dragged into doing other stuff, right? Having a little bit more fun, taking a little bit more time off, especially around the holidays, not doing podcasts, right? This is one of the things that I'm trying to be more consistent with. And it's okay, number one, like you're a human being. It's okay to recognize that, ooh, I've kind of slacked on this. But you need to think about why you're doing it, right? I built Hawaii because it's my fun little crazy Hawaiian t-shirt brand that is just cool stuff that I like making, and it feels really good to create and design without any sort of reproach or limits. And then SFL is my supplement company, and I love making new products. I love doing this, but I've had two people that worked on SFL with me, and they were two close friends. And unfortunately, I blame myself, but I eroded those friendships throughout that business partnership. And there's a little bit of shame involved with SFL with me because I always wanted to start a supplement brand. I had two friends that were really excited to work on that with me. And then I think I just wore my friends down. I think I was too intense. I think we weren't seeing results. I think I kind of pushed them away and kind of shamed them into not putting as much work into it. as I have, and I blame myself. So it's really difficult for me right now to sit down and work on Stronger for Longer or some of my side projects. CK Collective is and has always been mine. So I love working on that. That's something that comes naturally. It's a process of me maturing and growing and sharing new information and connecting with people and helping people. But when it comes to my other two side projects, even Hawaii-Fi, I worked on that with a friend, and it's like there's a little bit of shame associated with those things. Yeah, do I have a little bit too much on my plate? Sure, right? Should I be doing outreach and sales and pushing that and making that be the best that I can? Yep. Should I get over what's happened in the past? Absolutely. And that's why I'm here recording a podcast at 6:30 in the morning, is because doing this stuff, moving the chains bit by bit, staying consistent doesn't have to be a podcast every day. But the more that I do something throughout repetition, creating new products, sending another email blast, right? Posting on social media for one of my brands, the more consistent that I can be with that throughout the years, I know it's inevitable. My success is going to be inevitable as long as I stay consistent. So I'm a little bit shamed at my consistency. Don't think about it as a lack of skill or it being uncomfortable, but always look at it. Am I being consistent with my business, my product, my service, my podcast, my content, my website? Am I being consistent with adding to it, refining it? Am I posting on social media? It doesn't have to be every single day. It doesn't even have to be every single week. But are you being consistent over time? How consistent are you? The more consistent that you are with your business, your posting, whatever it is, think about it as repetitions. You need to take another shot, do another layup, take another free throw, get the job done. Just stay consistent with that. Eventually, you'll get thousands of reps, and eventually, you'll be one of the best. Don't worry about the end result. Just think about the process and staying consistent. Okay. That would be my question there. And then question number three. If this business fails in 12 months, what will the reason be? Lack of execution, lack of focus, or lack of personal discipline? Blame proofing yourself early is one of the best things that you can do. It saves years in entrepreneurship and it's saved me. But like I just said, I'm gonna beat this to a dead horse. If you start a business, if you start a podcast, if you start a channel, if you start anything, it will be your consistency that's why that business fails. I have never seen someone fail for continuing to try. I've never seen someone fail for continuing to just go and go and go and get up, hit after hit after hit. I've never seen someone fail until someone pulls you out of there and tells you no, like you're done, like stop. There's legal consequences here. Stop pushing, stop doing this. I mean, I would keep going. With me, my example with SFL and Hawaii-Fi, I think those brands by themselves probably cost me, I don't know, less than 200 bucks a month. I can afford that. I think it's closer to 150 actually. Maybe it's definitely over 100 bucks, but those two brands don't really cost me that much. Okay? 200 bucks seems like a lot, but me continuing to work on that, like yeah, I can float 1 to 2 grand per year to keep those things up. And as long as I stay consistent with posting, as long as I keep making new products, I'm going to see that stuff grow. That stuff feels really good. CK Collective, it took me 4 or 5 years before I even started getting a following. I wasn't posting on social media until about 3 years in, maybe 4 years in. Now I'm in year six, and now I'm actually doing well. Okay, yeah, we have 60,000 followers. I have some good ideas. I don't have a lot of time to do this stuff, but like I've been doing this podcast, what, for 2 years? I think I have almost 100 episodes. This is episode 97. So I haven't really been the most consistent with this, right? You want to do the math, that boils out to one a week. But if your business is going to fail in the next 12 months, I guarantee it's not lack of execution. It's not lack of focus, but it's going to be lack of personal discipline. Your ability to stay consistent with any business, that's the foundation. The execution, the focus part, that gets built on the consistency floor. And if you can't work on the floor and stay consistent and understand that repetitions over time is what makes you great, then yeah, your business will fail. And you can blame everything else, everyone else, you can blame other people. But looking in the mirror here at myself, yeah, it's lack of personal discipline, lack of focus, and lack of execution, right? Every time I'm making a podcast or doing content, I have my dog come in, Charlie, and then he just looks at me and I'm like, all right, buddy, let's go for a walk. And then guess what? I have to transition to another part of my life, and I don't really have a whole lot of free time to do this. But I have been more consistent with CK Collective than anything else. And that's because my name is tied to it, right? My legacy. And I don't think that you necessarily need to start two or three different companies. I think that's crazy talk. But if I did focus on one more than the other two, that one is clearly going to take off and grow, thus being CK Collective. So think about this for entrepreneurship, right? Is it lack of execution, lack of focus, or lack of personal discipline for you? And how can you improve all three? What is the one thing that improves the other two? In my case, it would be my discipline, me getting up, editing a product, building a website, doing a podcast for my supplement company or brand. Like that's going to be the thing that helps me improve over time. For Wi-Fi, me posting on every single day, me making new products. Those are going to be the things that kind of move that needle forward for me. And I want you guys to start thinking about this for you. How do you just stay consistent? How do you do one thing a day for your brand? Is it creating a story? Is it sending one email? Is it sending one DM? Just focus on doing one thing. If you can focus on being consistent enough to do one thing for your brand, your product, your service, build a page, write a blog, record a podcast, do one thing a day for your business, create a piece of content. That's it. Do that and then repeat that. You have 24 hours in a day, 168 hours per week. That is 1,440 minutes per day. You recording a 3-minute video and posting that online for your company, for your brand, takes no effort at all. Okay. So that's it for Three Questions Podcast, episode number 97. I appreciate you guys as always for listening. If you can leave a 5-star rating if you enjoyed this episode, that would be great. You can always submit questions anonymously at 3questionspodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to be a guest, just send me a DM. I'd love to have you on there. And yeah, I don't always want to be the one to sit up here and talk and just kind of give you my 2 cents, but I would love to get your story, promote your brand, anything else up there. Check out my consulting company, ckcollective.co. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys, and I will catch you all in episode number 98. See you guys in the next one. Peace.